Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, Cody Bellinger is back, but another rash of injuries for the Yankees, sending a pair of Ryans, that's Ryan McMahon and Ryan Weathers, to the IL. And even a little bit more devastating news, seemingly Stanton has now aggravated the other calf, and pretty much this senses that maybe he is done for 2026 there. So a little good news with Bellinger, but again, the Yankees still getting hit by these injuries, but just keep on keeping on. And this is coming after Max Fried had to go back on the IL with his continuous bone bruise on his left elbow there. So get you caught up on that in case you blinked and missed like 1,000 injuries. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast. And there's also the YouTube version of the show, frequently updated there, so you won't miss anything at that, as the season carries along, it ends, and even in the off season, the fun never stops. So go to the YouTube, search for Section 420 Talk Yankees, and subscribe there as well. So Cody Bellinger coming back maybe a little bit sooner than we thought. Obviously, he was going to have his rehab assignment this week of I guess you would say Monday the 17th. Technically, it started there on Thursday the 20th. So had 2 games down in the minors. Went 1 for 3 in the first game, 0 for 3 in the other game. The second game, they're playing a full 6 innings in left field. And the consensus was, especially with the Yankees scuffling for any offense, and Bellinger pretty much really tuned up as much as I guess he needed to. He was ready to come off the IL as soon as the Sunday finale against the Blue Jays, and Bellinger able to be a part of an 8-3 Yankee win where they could take 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays. Blue Jays been struggling this season, but as much as the Blue Jays have been a thorn in the side of the Yankees over the past couple of seasons there, he'll surely take 2 out of 3, and most annoyingly could have been really a 3-game sweep possibly. Obviously the Yankees had an opportunity there in game 2, of course the 9th inning, 4-3 there. You get Jazz on second base, nobody out there, and they can't even get the run in. I mean, eventually Jazz would go to third with 2 outs, stealing a base, but they were pretty much, Volin was even barely looking at him. But again, probably disappointing there. You could figure almost had a shot of coming back and maybe winning the Saturday game. But again, you'll take 2 out of 3. And over the bigger news, Cody Bellinger is back. In the game itself, nothing dynamic, went 1 for 4. A couple of strikeouts, did score a run. Just good to have him back there in the mix, and you'd rather have Cody out there in left field than like Elliot Ramos, for example. So again, just him defensively, even if Bellinger isn't like hitting home runs left and right and doubles, just Bellinger's defense enough sometimes is a situation that helps you win games where you could come up for a good play, a good diving play, or a good kind of doubling somebody up there. Again, that's a bit of a Bellinger special. And as the Yankees though get hit by more of these injuries in that same Toronto series, that would be that same Saturday game I mentioned. Weathers had to come out of the game early, felt some forearm discomfort. Now, good news for the Yankees, they did a scan on it, so it looks like there's no structural damage to the UCL. Looks like this bit of a strain. This is something that Weathers had to deal with last season when he was with the Marlins. Took him out for April and a good chunk of May, and according to Weathers, this scan wasn't as bad as the one he had last season. So the consensus is that he should possibly come back sometime this season. Now, probably maybe not as a starter, as he has reached his innings limit for his career there. So if he does come back, the smell test, based on what everyone's saying, it would be in some type of bullpen capacity, just because with the kind of the innings limits he has reached. So that's the news of that. And as for McMahon, a little bit less serious. Now, this was during the Baltimore series. He slid into second base, jammed his finger there, got a little gnarly, so he was placed on the IL. Now, Weathers feels that kind of Cabral had the same situation with his thumb injury earlier this season. Cabral said, you know what, this is only going to be 10 days, and as soon as the 10 days up, I'm coming back. Ryan Weathers is kind of the same way. He feels like this will just only be the 10 days, and he'll be right back. And actually, he was taking some hitting and fielding drills even during the Toronto series, where technically it was in the IL. So that would at least lead me to believe that this is not going to be one of those long lingering things. They say so-so is on the 15-day IL, and you don't see the person for 3 months. We've all been there, heard that before, but at least this one seems like he should be back relatively soon. But of course, the big news, and a couple of days old, but of course, dressing it here on the audio podcast, is with Stanton now has aggravated the other calf. Now, this was seemingly during one of his running drills where possibly he fell over. I mean, this is actually, the description of this whole thing is kind of embarrassing. And now it looks like that he's aggravated, and really even Boone, who's usually pretty optimistic and happy-go-lucky about things, you could just see the grim look in his face there where, he didn't even bother putting a smile on this one. If even Boone's saying that, giving you the feeling that there's no way he's coming back, and then actually this might be pretty serious, that we're not going to see Giancarlo Stanton for the rest of 2026. Just the way even Boone seemed really down and out about it, and he's pretty much as optimistic as possible there. So, not good news for the Yankees. And you know what? I don't know, maybe it was all a pipe dream. Was there enough time to him come back, get his swing down, and really be a contributor? But he's a veteran where he shouldn't need that much ramp-up time. But I don't know, maybe it was shooting for the stars anyway. But just based on that expression by Boone there, I just don't get the feeling he's just going to come back in time. And that's probably why that at least Cashman kind of went in some different directions the way he did at the trade deadline, bringing in both Garcia Jr. and Elliot Ramos. More like Ramos' right-handed power. Again, both of them kind of been a little bit disappointing up to this point, you say that, but going for kind of offensive type of players where you figure out why we need the offensive type of players, and maybe kind of Cashman in the back of the mind that, yeah, maybe there's a shot Stanton doesn't come back. So that might explain that a little bit. And as for Aaron Judge, the other big man we're waiting on, at least a little bit more positive news. We're discussing that, he's been doing some little running drills, able to play catch, and now finally seemingly hitting off a tee. So little baby steps, but again, we're just a week away from August being done. So he's still going to have to hit some live pitching. He doesn't seem to want to do any sort of rehab assignment. It seems like once he's ready, he wants to go right into the majors. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, you figured you have to get at least maybe 2 or 3 tune-up games in there in minors, even if the minor leagues are still going on at that point, too. So that's something you got to consider there. But again, Judge kind of inching back, but this news on Stanton, rather grim. And I don't know if you saw Brian Hoke had quite an interesting tweet the other day regarding Stanton's contract and again, making oodles money there, and again, hardly plays, but he's due to make $29 million this season for 2026. I mean, he played a couple of games in April, and that's about it. I'm not really beating up on Stanton here, but just to show you how crazy this is. Now, his last final guaranteed year is next year, 2027, at $27 million. So it gets a little bit of a pay cut, but still $27 million. Now, for 2028, there's an option. Obviously, the Yankees could pick up his option for that year, which I can't see any way humanly possible that's going to happen, at $25 million, or they could buy him out at $10 million, which seems going to be the more likely. Now, the rest of the thing, again, everyone kind of knocks his trade there, which I really can't knock the trade at time. I know Stan has pretty much barely played half of the time he's been here, but at the time, if you're Brian Cashman, you were just one game away from the World Series there. You obviously lose Game 7 in a heartbreaker against Astros, but you have a team that was just one game away from the World Series, and the Marlins come calling and offering you Giancarlo Stanton in his prime, a former National League MVP, for basically stalling Castro, and they agree to pick up some of this money on the deal there. You still have to make that deal. So as much as disappointing it is, there's no way you could have a magic 8 ball to know he's going to be hurt all these years there, but you still can't really knock the trade on that deal. And the reason I just bring this up there, because Hulk mentions the money that the Marlins are picking up. So yeah, he's making $29 million this year, but the Marlins are paying $10 million for each of these years. So a little quick math. So Yankees are paying $29 million, but Marlins are picking up $10 million of that. So really, the Yankees are only paying him $19 million. For next year, same deal. Even though he's making $27 million, Marlins are picking up $10 million of that. So the Yankees are only paying him $17 million. And again, let's just say, again, the Yankees are going to pick up that $25 million for the last 2028. They're just going to buy him out. Well, the buyout's $10 million. The Marlins give the Yankees $10 million. So really, the Yankees aren't paying a dime for that buyout. So as bad as that contract might seem, and yes, they're paying a lot of money, and yes, he gets hurt all the time, it's still a good deal if you look at the long run. And again, the Marlins are still picking up a lot of that tab there. So I felt that was quite an interesting tweet by Brian Hoke. But more importantly now, Yankees take 2 out of 3. And Rendon, second start there, seemed decently. He did struggle a little bit, had to grind through his way there. And the Yankee bats came alive later in the game. And if you look at the other guys, both Cole and Schlittler, again, the last times out, throwing darts there. So at least those two definitely seemingly picking up the slack. And hopefully Rendon can start getting a roll where he's going to contribute, because he's still got a couple of weeks away till Max Fried comes back. The outlook on him is still positive that he should at least be back sometime in September. And that's really what it's all about, is getting those 3 guys and 4 guys, Rendon, if he gets on a roll there, and having that, as you're basically, that's going to be the Yankees' weapon in the playoffs. It's not going to be the offense. Again, it's a different year with the Yankees. They're now, quote unquote, the Bronx Bombers here. You're seeing a lot of, they scored 8 runs in the finale against Toronto, but a lot of the wins, it's a lot of 4-3s, 4-2s, 3-1s. I mean, so it's 5-3. I mean, that's just the way this Yankee team right now. So it's all going to be about pitching. And of course, a lot will help if the Yankees can get back Aaron Judge. So that's the episode. Yankees take 2 out of 3 against Toronto. Cody Bellinger is back there, so that should help the offense a little bit and definitely help the left field defense. But a lot of uncertainty. And again, Yankees continuously getting hit with these rash of injuries. Catch you next time.